just kind of set out to try to go around it. I think we made it maybe a mile. Couldn't get out. I was in utter shock. It was nothing as far as you could see, just snow.
We were in the middle of nowhere, and nobody knew where we were.
I think we both realized that no one's going to come out here.
This might be the end of this happy little family we had.
What did we do? Oh my God. What did we do, Jim?
Around Christmas time, 1992, my grandma passed away. Quickly made arrangements to borrow a pickup truck from a fellow soldier. A little car that we had probably wasn't up to the long drive up to Idaho.
All right, I think we got everything.
Okay, cool.
How's he doing?
He's great.
Yeah.
Super calm, ready? Yeah, he's our little trooper. You excited, Clay?
Oh, babe. Did you get the diaper bag?
Yeah, I packed it.
Jennifer and Clayton and I loaded into the truck and headed out on our way to Pocatello, Idaho.
All right.
Okay.
So, question for you. Which one do you think?
Best mix ever.
Yeah, it's the best. Just like you. Just like you, Clayton.
The weather reports were so bad that I asked him not to come because it was so bad. He really wanted to be there. And I remember trying to tell him, it's okay if you're not here. But he was pretty insistent that he wanted to be there.
All right.
Put it in. 6 hours, here we come.
All right.
Muriel at that time, like, she was telling us, you just don't go, like, it's, don't risk it if it's snowy, stay home. But we didn't. And we left first thing in the morning, too, and thought, well, okay, well, if we leave first thing in the morning, we'll get there, by the evening time.
Wouldn't he look so cute in a snowsuit? Jim.
What?
I said, wouldn't he look so cute in a snowsuit?
Yeah, I guess so.
You're so serious.
We were kind of in a hurry. We needed to get up to Idaho for the funeral, yes, but more so to be with my mom, because she wasn't taking it very well.
Going to a funeral. It's not exactly a road trip.
She'll be okay.
I love you.
Jim and I met in high school, and Jim, to me, was just sweet. I mean, there's, like, I can't think of another word, really, to describe him. Loyal, sincere. He just was always fun to be around.
A lot of the things in our life were similar. So we clicked, and at first we were just, really, really good friends, best friends. I always wanted to eventually be married and have kids. I probably scared Jennifer in the beginning because I probably told her that I wanted like 4, 6, or 8 kids or something like that, and it probably freaked her out a little bit. We were married about 11 days before I actually went off to boot camp. She had already enlisted and was in the Army Reserves.
We were both 19, I believe. He's only just like a few months older than me.
Jim and Jennifer got married about 1.5 years before Clayton was born. They called to let me know that she was pregnant. I was pretty excited. My first grandchild.
Clayton was born in August of 1992. Having children was the best thing in the world to me.
I always wanted to be a mom. Always, always, always. I knew I wanted to be a mom from the moment I could think about being a mom. So when Clay was born, it was amazing. I was happy.
The original plan was to take Interstate 80 over the mountain passes directly north into Idaho.
You ever hear the story about them?
Who?
The Donner Party? It's really creepy.
You gonna tell me?
A bunch of pioneers were trying to go through the mountains, but they got stuck. And they had to try and survive for the whole winter.
Did they?
Only a few. I think most of them died, actually. They didn't have any food or water or anything.
It wasn't snowing. It was sunny. It was nice out. I mean, it was nice up until the point where we got stopped.
There was a storm, a winter storm brewing, and as we approached the mountain passes on Interstate 80, they weren't letting anybody through.
Excuse me. What's going on?
They're closing the pass.
How come?
Snowstorm's not letting up. Better find yourself somewhere to stay tonight. We don't know when it's gonna open, but it won't be before morning.
Awesome.
Okay. We will just reroute.
We decided to find a different way over the mountains. We decided to go north. The map we had showed this road, Nevada 8A, I think it was called. It really is just two ruts that wind through this high desert sagebrush area. We were definitely not on an interstate or anything, but we figured, oh, it's on a map. It's drivable. We can drive it. It turns out that the road closed sign was buried in snow. We were in the middle of nowhere, and nobody knew where we were.
Donner's Pass, that was closed. There was traffic. I mean, just backed up and just basically stopped. Like, you can't go anywhere. We just kind of set out to try to go around it. We knew that they were doing like planning and stuff like that, and so we knew the funeral wasn't going to be for a day or two, so that would give us time to get in. We stopped and had chains put on the tires. They're meant to help give you more traction in the snow. And it's loud and it's horrible. It sucks.
Pull over.
Now?
Yeah, pull over. It's not that bad anymore.
Really? Maybe we should take them off.
We'll get there like 3 hours faster if we do. Then Clay could actually sleep.
We went for quite some time with the chains on. And then we took the chains off.
You take care of the chains, I'll take care of Clay.
For a long time, we were following the taillights of some other vehicle. So we figured, well, we must be on some road that's decently traveled. And then all of a sudden we didn't see them anymore. So now we were alone.
car's gone.
Are we still in 8A?
I haven't turned.
Where do you think we are?
Did you read that?
Read what?
We drove quickly past a sign that neither of us, Jennifer and I, neither of us had a good chance to read what was on the sign.
We backed up to go see the sign.
"20 miles.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Oh my gosh. Jim, this snow's really deep.
I think we should keep going.
We didn't know we were driving in, a foot or more of snow. We thought we were driving in a couple inches. We just kept plowing through it and going, and it didn't seem to be an issue.
I think we made it maybe a mile and then just got bogged down in the snow and couldn't get out.
Jim.
I can get it.
Jim, you're tired. I'm tired. Okay, let's just take a break.
No, there's gonna be a motel around here somewhere. And what are we gonna do? Sleep in the car?
Yeah, I think we should. We'll get there just fine. Clay's already asleep. Let's just rest.
We should have told somebody we were gonna reroute. All right. It'll be fine. Somebody else will drive by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was late, it was dark. Leave the lights on in case somebody drives by. And then we'll just see what it looks like in the morning. Boy. It was not pretty in the morning.
Jim. Jim.
I was in utter shock. I couldn't believe where we were. It was nothing. It was just nothing. As far as you could see, just snow.
Jim, wake up. This can't be the right way.
What do we have for food?
What do you mean?
I think we need to start conserving what we've got.
We barely have anything. We have a fruit cake, we have chips. Just the crumbs, though. I can't believe nobody drove by.
There's no tire tracks. There's no footprints. I don't even see animal tracks. I think we're the only people out here.
But we sat there, and looking out the windows, we'd see, oh, no tire tracks. We're still alone here.
I think we're gonna have to turn around. Just dig it out. Find our old tracks and follow them.
Okay. Okay. This is empty. I'll put Clay in his seat and then I'll be right on top.
We thought, well, maybe we can try to dig it out. It's not like we had shovels or anything like that, so we're out there just with whatever we had, trying to clear the snow away from the vehicle. We thought, well, if we can get the truck turned around, maybe we can at least go back on our own on the tracks without going through so deep a snow, you know? And that was just impossible.
We did get the truck turned around and tried a number of times, but still could not hit the truck much more than a couple dozen feet, maybe.
The funeral was going to be on the 31st. Jim and Jennifer and Clayton, they were supposed to be there like on the 29th, I think, and they didn't show up. And we waited all night, just looking out the window and calling to make sure they'd left, and, you know, there just was nothing. They didn't show up on the 30th, and by this time, we were a little bit frantic. The weather was so bad in the Reno area, we knew that. And we thought since we hadn't heard anything that maybe they ended up in a car accident and were in a hospital somewhere. So we called every hospital from Pocatello to Reno.
Hi, hello. Yeah, I'm checking to see if there's been any admissions.
And nothing.
The hours started to go by, and we started to worry a little bit more, thinking, where are we? Why aren't there any cars coming?
So we moved to the back of the truck because there was a little more space in there, and so we can have Clay like just move around and get out of his car seat.
Yeah, he needed that.
We really didn't have a lot of food for him because he was still breastfeeding.
We had what was left of a fruitcake from the holidays. We had just the crumbs at the bottom of a Dorito bag. And we had prenatal vitamins.
Are these? That's something, right?
And I think that was pretty much it.
The second day that we were there, we'd go out and fill our coffee mugs with snow and try to melt it down for water.
Oh, it is so cold. Oh, here. Oh, how's that one?
Pack the whole stupid thing with snow, and like you'd get like this much water out of it. The wind was really, it just was crazy. It was just so windy.
It's so cold.
It got down to -5. That's probably not with the wind chill, because it was so windy and cold out there.
Do you think he's warm enough?
You want to turn the heat on a little bit?
We turned the heater on when it got really super cold, but we tried to save the gas because we weren't sure how long we would be there or if we'd need it to drive out.
I'm gonna try and sleep.
And at night, I would, with the headlights, I would flash them in SOS code, hoping that if there was an airplane up above us, they might see that, or somebody might see that.
You know what I just thought of?
What?
It's New Year's Eve.
Knowing it was New Year's and thinking if anyone was looking for us, or then we thought, well, where would they be looking for us? It would drive you crazy just to think about all those things.
We stayed in the truck for 3 days. I mean, we'd play hangman or tic-tac-toe or other kinds of word games. And that's pretty much how we passed the time. It started to sink in when we didn't even see airplanes overhead, or we didn't see wildlife outside. And obviously no other humans had been by. We were seemingly in the middle of nowhere, and nobody knew where we were. We really started to think that this might be the end of this happy little family we had.
I just don't get it. There were taillights. We both saw them. There were people out here. Where are they?
I don't know, Jen.
It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, the road was on a map. It's a map. Maps are supposed to be right.
I know.
We have a baby. We have a baby, and we have no food and no water, and we missed the funeral. We don't even know if anybody knows that we're stranded. Nobody even knows that we're out here. Even if they did, what are they gonna do? Follow the same map that led us straight into the wilderness?
No.
What do you mean, no?
Nobody's gonna find us.
I think we both realized that no one's gonna come out here. And so that was kind of when we started talking about a game plan. What are we gonna do?
I was only 20 miles from here. And we did that in boot camp.
We made the decision to walk out.
my mom's funeral, we headed home. You love your kids so much, but the worry never goes away. We got home and had to call a police station, and they came out and talked to us.
What color is Jim's hair?
Blonde. Sandy blonde.
And Jennifer's?
Blonde. Same as Jim's, but it's lighter.
And the baby is 3 months old?
Clay is 4 months, almost 5 months old.
5 months old, okay.
Joe Dutra was a big part of what the police department was doing.
In 1992, I was a deputy sheriff or detective for the Alameda County Sheriff's Department, which is in California. I was the investigator, been assigned to the case. In those days, again, back in 92, it used to be 72 hours before we would take a report regarding a missing person. My entire thing was to make sure that there was no foul play.
Have you witnessed or been aware of any marital disputes between Jim and Jennifer?
No, they're happy. They're happy. They're just in trouble. They're lost somewhere. And
I understand that.
The scenario of the entire situation was a wide gamut of, is it foul play? Is it they got lost? Was it a bad situation? Was it they ran out of gas? I mean, there was just too many possibilities there.
I just need you to bear with me for a few more questions. And once I narrow things down a little bit, then we can start the search. Okay?
They didn't wait 72 hours to start looking. They started.
What about this?
No.
We decided that this is it. We're gonna have to go. The only way to get out, the truck won't move. Nobody's coming. We'll have to go out on foot.
We didn't come prepared to walk in snow. We came prepared to go to a funeral. So we knew that we had to keep our feet dry. I mean, we knew that even just from military training. You got to keep your feet dry.
We could use these to keep the bags on our feet.
Sure.
All we had was dress clothes. Dress clothes and a couple outfits for the drive back and forth, which were, sweatshirts and sweatpants.
I don't know if we should do this. We don't have hats. We don't have boots. We don't have gloves. We don't have anything that we need to go.
Put this around your head.
Are you listening to me?
I'm listening, but we don't have a choice. Okay, Clay won't make it. If we stay, we don't have any food.
Okay, you're right. Okay.
So wrap this around your head.
We covered our heads with sweatshirts, tied them awkwardly around our heads to try to keep our heads warm.
Does Mommy look silly? You think I'm funny, don't you, Clayton?
Clayton. Well, we decided to bundle him up in his little baby clothes, and we had a little tiny baby sleeping bag for him that we nestled him in.
It's okay. Get you cozy.
Does it work, right?
Wrapped that little sleeping bag in a series of blankets and put this little package of baby into a garment bag.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to carry him 20 miles.
Where's that hanging bag?
This one?
No, the suit's with the hanger.
Oh. Do you think we should leave a note? I think we should.
We weren't sure that we would all survive, so we penned a little letter, basically letting our family know what our final wishes were.
And if we don't make it?
If we don't make it, they should keep us together.
Like, bury us together?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we actually even said if you're reading this, we may already be dead. It was hard thinking about like not seeing our families again. And I think we just wanted them to know that we loved them and that we loved each other and, you know, that we tried.
We were going to live or we were going to die. The decisions we made would determine if we were going to live or die.
Okay, hand me Clay. I'm gonna pull him like a sled.
No. We can't put him in that bag. Are you serious?
Yeah, honey, he's too small and vulnerable. If we expose him to the elements, and if we trip and fall, he won't survive. Okay, so we can bundle him up. Just like this. Put him in the bag. All right, little boy. Keep it ventilated. If it doesn't work, if you don't like it, we can try something different. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. I need you to tie this around the hanger here.
Jim was like, I'll, you know, tie the tire on the waistcoat and we'll hook it on and we'll see how that works and see if we can just pull him in that.
Oh, just get it nice and tight.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, buddy.
So we brought, you know, any kind of food that we had, you know, a few diapers to change them from time to time. And that was about it. So we wrote this letter, set it down, and we left the truck.
The weather was probably one of the worst storms we had at the time. Lots of snow in the mountains. As a matter of fact, they had closed down Highway 80. From the beginning, it was always a factor because they had chosen to do that route, and I knew there was a lot of snow up there. I went ahead and entered the vehicle that they were in into the computer system, the DMV system, as a missing person case and missing vehicle, along with their names, and put it out statewide. The California Highway Patrol was also aware of their route, and they were checking the roadways. Because of the circumstances of the case of having really no leads, you just relied on calls coming in. I was getting anywhere between 10 to 15 tips a day. Everybody saw them, or they thought they saw them. Some people did call anonymously, some actually left their numbers, and some of them didn't. So that was very frustrating. The thing that really set me off a little bit was when someone called and said they had been seen on the side of the freeway in Oregon with a man standing next to them. And that really kind of concerned me because they had left the two of them and just the baby. Was it a bad situation? Was it they ran out of gas? I mean, there was just too many possibilities there.
The only thing we knew for sure was from the sign that we had seen that the highway that we wanted, that we were trying to get to, was closer than the town we had already passed. So we decided to walk that way.
just us and the elements. And our goal was 20 miles, which was where the next town was. Walking during the day was fine, but at night it was different. It was always cold and windy. Did a lot of backwards walking.
I really didn't have a sense of how long it would take to walk 20 miles, especially in the snow. It gets that crusty top where it's all shiny, so it's nice and hard and crunchy, and then you step on it and you put your weight on and then you'd fall down. It was just killing me. It was just hurting so bad.
This was deeper snow. In some spots, thigh-high or even higher. The high desert is way up into the Rocky Mountains, so there's not much vegetation. There were no trees, and there aren't big mountain peaks everywhere. Hill Creek. Great. That's promising.
There's a fork in the road.
What? What about the road?
There's two of them. Roadways.
Which way?
You go that way. I'll go this way.
No.
No, guys, we're not splitting up. I just want to see what's under the snow.
So I walked down one way, and Jennifer walked down the other way.
Dirt!
Looks like gravel.
Coming your way.
Together we decided, well, gravel is an upgrade over dirt, so we set our course down this gravel road. Every once in a while we would stop and take a break and kind of catch our breath.
I gotta stop. I think he likes the sound when we're walking.
I should try and feed him again.
We gotta talk the whole time, okay? Otherwise we're gonna fall asleep.
Clayton, the little trooper that he was quiet and calm while we were moving, but if we stopped, he would fuss and cry.
I would try to feed him, you know. I don't know what if he was getting anything, if I was able to produce any milk at that point, but I would try.
How many days has it been?
Since we left the truck?
Since we got stuck.
3 days in the truck. 2 days walking, so 5 days ago.
He stopped already.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, let's get you back. I'm gonna open that up. Oh, yeah. All right.
Can we rest? Just for like 5 minutes. minutes.
5 minutes.
And I recall one time where we kind of both dozed off.
Jim. Jim? Jim, you're too cold. Your nose is all white.
Is it better?
It's better.
I have color.
Yeah.
We kind of freaked out because we're thinking, well, man, I might lose part of my face. You know, they might have to cut off part of my nose if we live. Maybe it was an old wives' tale, but we discussed the fact that if you fall asleep when you're freezing cold, you won't wake up. More than once, we'd thought about, well, maybe we do just fall asleep, you know, and then this would be over and we wouldn't have to worry about it anymore. But then the thought crossed our mind, well, okay, what if we fall asleep and what if Clayton doesn't? That realization made us change our mind back again to, well, no, we have to keep going.
I was really struggling walking. It was really, really getting hard on my hips.
Looking back at it now, I think the military training that gave me this confidence, I was able to kind of see what was happening and see that it took a mental toughness to make it through without going crazy.
We walked through the night, you know, sun come up and still walking.
I think we both thought, all right, I think we're getting close because it got to be at least 20 miles by now.
Hold up. I think this is it.
Up there?
We can make it. Yeah. Take breaks.
We came to a spot where there was kind of a really big incline. And the whole time I'm thinking that once we get to the top of this hill, we're gonna see something, a road, we're gonna see power lines or buildings or something.
When we got up to the top, there was nothing. It was, to say the least, a pretty big disappointment. There was no highway. I don't know what we were looking at on the map. I don't know if we went a wrong direction. I don't know what happened, but there was no highway. And I know we could see miles and miles.
We're gonna die out here. Nobody's ever gonna find us. There's nothing. What do we do?
No, we're so okay.
Oh my God.
We
Oh my God, what did we do, Jim?
The family was last seen leaving Castro Valley at 6:30 Tuesday morning. The Stolpa's planned route was Interstate 580 to 680 to Highway 80 through the Sacramento area, then the Sierra, before heading north on Highway 93 to Idaho.
The more it got out in the press, or the media, if you will, then the more calls we started to receive. And not just locally, but it turned out to be nationwide.
I was not doing well myself. We had a lot of activity at our house in Castro Valley. There was a lot of media there all the time, and I remember jumping every time the phone would ring.
Hello?
His wife, 20-year-old Jennifer, and the couple's 5-month-old son, Clayton. The family had begun a 14-hour drive to Pocatello, Idaho, to join the Mulligans for the funeral of Jim's grandmother, but they never arrived. But last Tuesday, the biggest blizzard to hit the Sierra in 10 years closed Highway 80 for most of the day.
My job, dealt with direct communication with the family of Jim Stolpa. I try to convey to them that we would do everything we could to find him.
This is still all very painful for me to remember. All the stuff that went down, it brings back all those fears that I had. They just come right back to the surface again.
We're okay. We're still okay.
We're gonna die up here. Yeah.
We just need a new plan.
He's not crying.
We stopped at the top of this hill. We realized that Clay wasn't crying. He always cried when he stopped.
He didn't make a sound, and I didn't want to unzip the bag.
He's not crying. Jim, he's not crying. Over the bag. Over the bag. Oh my God. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, you're okay. You're okay.
If he wasn't alive when we unzipped that bag, I would have laid down right there next to him and died with him. I wouldn't have had any reason to go on.
He was fine. Just looking up at us with his blue eyes. Like he knew that we had this hard moment, that our plan had failed. It's like we thought that he must have realized that we didn't need him crying at the same time. So he was just being polite.
He's okay.
We're gonna go back to the truck. Okay? We're gonna make it back. And we're just gonna just follow our tracks. We know there are people in that town. If we just go back.
We decided, well, maybe let's just get back to the truck, because we at least know we came from somewhere where there was a town and population. decided to search around for some shelter for at least a short period. And we found a little nook in this rock outcropping that we could all fit in, and we decided to just burn everything. The sagebrush in the area just doesn't burn very well, but a plastic diaper bag might.
There we go. Turns out diaper bags are highly flammable.
Oh, it feels so good.
It went up like 5 seconds and it was just burnt. I just remember looking at him like, that's it? Like, that's all it did?
Somehow we were able to fall asleep, and we woke up, and Jennifer couldn't even stand.
There was no way I could walk. Every step I took just was just excruciating.
We still had, you know, a day and a half or 2 days of walking just to get back to the truck now. And then we had to walk beyond that even to find help. So we decided, well, let's find a place out of the elements that we can maybe warm up and continue on a little bit later. I found a little cave. There was a hole in the rock. So I took Clayton and kind of helped Jennifer down there. Helped her in to this little cave. Handed her clay. And once she was in there and settled, this is when I decided to drop the bomb on her.
Jim? I'm gonna keep going.
No.
I have to. Look, I can still walk, okay? I can make it back to the truck a lot faster on my own.
That was so scary. Because I think at that moment I thought, well, if he doesn't come back, we're gonna die. You know?
Please. I'm just tired. I just need one more day. My body's tired. It just needs to warm up and then I'll be fine. I'll go faster. Okay, I'll go faster.
3 days. Okay, just give me 3 days.
What do I do?
Wait. And then you take care of this little guy, okay? And you stay calm, and you keep telling yourself 3 days. Over and over and over. I promise you.
I love you so much.
Love you too. You can do this, okay?
3 days.
I just didn't think that we should separate. I didn't. There's a part of me that I thought it wasn't going to be the last time I saw him.
I walked directly down the hill to the road and tied a very bright blue sweatshirt to one of the bushes directly beneath where they were located as a marker so that I could find them again when I came back. And became a single-minded machine at that point. While I had a specific mission, you know, I was at point A, I needed to get to point B to send somebody back to point A. This fight wasn't over. Jennifer had it much more difficult. What could be worse than just sitting, waiting? That's an emotion that I've never been a part of.
I was all alone with Clay in that cave, and it was scary, and I just sat there and I cried a lot. And just tried to
comfort Clay and just keep him warm.
I'm right here. Mommy's right here, okay? Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. If that mockingbird don't sing, Mama's gonna buy you a diamond ring. And if that diamond ring turns
I would periodically grab snow and melt it in my mouth and spit it into his mouth so that he could get some fluids. There was a couple times when the sun would come out and shine on one side, it would melt some of the snow that was in the rocks. And so I would suck the water out of the little puddles off the rocks.
I occupied my mind by memorizing everything that I saw. I walked, I observed, and I continued to eat snow and ice. Ice was a prize. Snow was everywhere, but it was very dry, not too much water in it. But if you could find ice, that was something special, because that was condensed, pure, just water and gravel. I filled my pockets with ice if I could find it, and then just snacked on it and just continued to eat it. Was able to make much better time by myself and reached the truck by that evening. The truck did not start. I wasn't too surprised by this, but I was at least out of the elements and allowed myself a couple hours to just kind of rest my legs just a little bit and then set out again.
Normally, in a situation of this type, of being lost in the snow and that, the outcome is not a very positive one, especially in the area that they were in. There was a situation similar to this. It was a couple in Oregon, and the father decided he had to go out and find help, and he didn't make it through.
I didn't know what frostbite looked like, so I didn't really know. But all I knew was I just kept putting him back in the snow to numb him back up again. So the pain wasn't so bad. Clay had like this empty look in his eyes, like he just wasn't there. He just laid there, this long, empty look in his face, and I thought he was dying. And all I knew is that there was one more day that Jim said he would be back.
I told her 3 days I'd be back. And then I see this sign that had caused us to stop several days ago. Now reading on the other side of the sign, I could see that the nearest location that it mentioned was Cedarville, 50 miles. And now I'm starting to rethink, oh boy, did I underestimate this? Did I lowball this? Should I have said 4 days? That's what my goal was now, to walk 50 miles. Now I was just following the tire tracks from the truck. I would, sing cadence to kind of pass the time. It kind of helped bring some of that military training more to the forefront of my brain.
3 days, you can make it. 3 days. Come on, Jim, you can do it. You can make it, I know you can.
At some point when walking, I heard Jennifer talking to me. And this startled me. I knew she wasn't right behind me, but it sounded like she was right behind me. I think somewhere deep down I had a thought that this meant that they had succumbed to the cold and they had died. You can only go so long without water and so long without food. I knew I had to hurry.
Don't worry, Daddy, stop. We can make it one more day, little Clay.
Way up ahead of me, I could see something. Is that a building? Is that a structure? What is that thing?
Hey! 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 Hey!
Before he could even stop the truck, I had flung the door open and threw myself in and spouted out this incredible tale.
Oh, please. Oh, you gotta help me and my wife. We've been stuck, and my baby, and we've had no food.
All right, come on. Get up in here out of the cold. It's gonna be all right.
Dave Peterson, he and his wife Ruth Ann, are via Nevada. This is via Nevada, population 2. These two live in this house, which is the town. He had been home for lunch and was just heading out of town, going back to work. So he drove me up to his house and helped me in because my feet were frozen and numb. And his wife came over and had a look of shock. She said she had heard that there was a young family that was missing. So Dave gets on the radio because they have no phone. He gets on the radio to his coworker.
Out past Hell's Creek, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha. I know it. Better head out soon, though, or we ain't gonna beat the snow.
All right, I'll get my stuff together.
Okay, I'm on my way.
All right, I'll see you soon. We're gonna go get him.
Yeah, good.
No, you stay there. You're in no shape. Look at your feet. Your family's gonna need you. And you're gonna need to get to a hospital.
I was upset with them that they wouldn't let me go with them. They said, we got this. We'll get there just fine. You've done your part. This is where I realized how bad frostbite can look. About half of my foot was as dark a purple as you can get without it being black. Reluctantly, I acquiesced and let them take me to the medical facility. They said that when my feet started to thaw, it was going to be a pain like I did not want to experience.
For the past 5 days, Muriel and Kevin Mulligan have been frantic over the disappearance of Muriel's son, 21-year-old James Stopa, his wife, 20-year-old Jennifer, and the couple's 5-month-old son, Clayton. The family was last seen leaving Castro Valley at 6:30 Tuesday morning. They were driving a 1988 blue Dodge Dakota pickup truck with Missouri plates. Along with the blankets and chains, they also
found Jim.
food, $500 in cash.
Is he okay? Is Jim okay? Is he hurt?
We finally got that phone call. They found Jim. And it was like everyone in our house was just jumping up and down and screaming and clapping and cheering at the same time. It was just Jim that they found.
Have they found Jennifer and Clayton?
The commissioner called me, said he has been found. And so we're going to provide transportation. What do you need? And what I told him is, well, we need to get his mother, because the father was already on the road. I said, we need to get his mother up there. And he said, I'll have an airplane fly down, pick you both up.
My family had been alerted at some point that I was okay, that I had stumbled out of the wild. I was not able to fully relax because my wife and baby were still out there somewhere. And that's all I could think of.
Come on, Clay, a little more.
I kind of started feeling like I made a really bad mistake of taking my shoes off because I couldn't get them back on again. So I'm like, now I'm gonna have to crawl out of here if Jim doesn't make it. I'm gonna have to literally crawl out of here because I can't put my shoes on and I can't walk on my feet.
Come on, buddy. Clay, look at me. You're okay, and Daddy's
good. Every time I fall asleep, I dream of like a rescue. I mean, every single time if I fall asleep. So like day 3 came, and I think by that point I was starting to tell myself that this could be it. That Clay and I are gonna die here in this cave.
I'm sorry, sweetheart. I'm so sorry.
And who knows when anybody would find us. And all I just kept thinking about was my family and what they must be thinking, and the not knowing and not being able to tell them I loved them. Just all the stupid mistakes we made that got us into that stupid situation. I think it was just about dark, and I had dozed off again. I was dreaming of a rescue. I wasn't dreaming. It was there was a truck. And as soon as I saw it, I knew Jim made it. I just remember I grabbed Clay and I just was waving and screaming for them because it was dark.
I'm here and I have a baby and I think he's dying.
It's all right. We found your husband.
Is he okay?
He's fine. He's fine. He told us where to find
Okay.
you. All right. Can you walk?
No, I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. It's all right. We're going to get you out of there, all right?
Okay.
You're going to carry you down to that truck.
Okay. Where's Clay?
We got you. We got you.
Clay? Mom's right here. Clay? Clayton?
Has he been responding much?
No, not for a while.
Try one of these.
Dave's had an orange in his lunch, like from earlier in the day that he didn't eat.
You can do it, buddy, okay? Come on, Clayton. He's sucking on it. He's barely blinked in days.
He started sucking on that thing like so crazy. And I just remember thinking, oh God, like just that like made me feel so much better that he was responding. We were transferred from the truck into a snowcat. The snowcat actually had some EMT, like some medical personnel in there. Then they took Clay from me. They wanted to see what his feet looked like, to see if he, had frostbite or anything like that. And I just remember as they were cutting through layer after layer after layer to get to his toes, everybody in there like sort of held their breath. Please let him be like okay. When he got through, they all were like, yay, because like little pink toes were, wiggling. They put me in an ambulance, and then from the ambulance, then into the hospital. And then that's when I saw Jim for the first time. He looked ragged. He looked windblown and blistery, like just, he was beautiful because he was alive. I said, you did it, you kept your promise, you came back.
Joe came and picked me up. I was just a nervous wreck. They didn't know where Jennifer was at that point, and Clayton, because we hadn't gotten any information on them yet. It was a 4-person plane. Before we landed, though, the pilots turned to us and said they found Jennifer and Clayton, and they're alive.
glad you're alive. How you feeling right now?
Yeah, I got it. I'm just very happy and relieved that we're okay, that Jim made it. And I've never been so much happier to see people in all my life.
It was just such a weird switch from feeling just so alone. Like, I'm just gonna die alone here with my baby in this cave, and then like the whole world knows who you are.
Doctors called it a miracle. The rescue of U.S. Army PFC Jim Stolpa, his wife Jennifer, and their 5-month-old baby Clayton.
It was crazy.
Here they come, here they come.
And there was hundreds of reporters out there, and I'm like, what's going on? Who's here?
I first heard about the Stolpas case through the evening news. You know, it was a big story in Reno, so it was covered pretty extensively in both the local and national news. I didn't personally think that there was any way that they could be out there that long and survive. When I arrived at the emergency room, I saw Jennifer first, and unfortunately, when I examined her feet, I knew this was really going to be a bad injury. I've never in my career seen a frostbite injury as severe as the Stolpas. It's similar to what you call a 4th-degree burn, where all the tissue is burned, including the bones. I was faced with the option of the amputation as a primary treatment. I was hoping to find some way to change that outcome and maybe save her feet. My idea was, okay, I'm going to have some dead bone here, but I'm going to treat it like I treat a bone graft. In other words, we're going to put some tissue that has a lot of blood supply around that bone, and hopefully those blood vessels will grow into that bone and bring it, quote, back to life.
Because I kept refreezing them, that damaged my feet more. I thought, oh, I'm never going to walk again. I'm never going to walk again.
It was one of those things where we're going to take a chance, but I'm not sure it's going to work.
And look at me now. I'm running through life. I'm doing a 5K next Saturday.
You're kidding. That's good. I think the Stolpas has to be one of my biggest success stories. I tried something, personally that I felt I needed to do, and it worked.
From the time that they went missing until the time that they were located was about 9 days. To survive that long under the circumstances that they were under, it was just amazing and very lucky that they pulled through that way. After that case, there were several differences. A major one was that we no longer chose to wait 72 hours to take a report. And if we felt that they were at risk for whatever reason, we would take the report immediately and take action immediately, which is what you nowadays have. It couldn't have turned out any better. It was a positive ending to the entire situation.
When he gets older, what are you going to tell him about this week?
Well, hopefully we'll be able to save some clippings or something from the newspaper and we'll just show it to him.
I'm Clayton Stolpa, and I'm the son of Jim and Jennifer Stolpa. I think they've gone as far as saying that I'm the reason that they survived. I thought that was amazing. My family is extremely important to me. My parents are my heroes. If I'm ever put in a situation, in a survival situation like that, I would have their strength and love to pull from.
Clay's younger sister, Shelby, was born in 1995. Clay was the reason that we survived as a family, so she's always been kind of the reward Over time, though, Jennifer and I grew apart, remained friends. She's happy in her life, and I'm happy in mine. I have to admit that I wouldn't want to change anything because it would change who I am today.
As young as we were when we got into all that and went through everything, I feel like it kind of made us grow up a little bit too. He's always my hero.